Just for a minute,
Sure.
show us a few things that you've purchased.
Okay, so the first thing I purchased was out of my own money because I wanted to try to get going before we actually bought the big things. And this is things that you can buy at Big Lots. These are sold by a set of 4, and they are what dorm room students use to raise their beds up, to put things in under them. But I saw this idea on Pinterest, and you can set the desk on it, and it will raise it up so that a student can actually stand behind the desk for those students who like to stand. Or I have brought some of my own actual benches or stools from home, and they can sit on those if they choose to. I actually purchased this one at Walmart, and I think it was about 18 bucks, and they use those also. I purchased these kinds of desks particularly because they are shaped like a puzzle, you'll see. And I will show you in just a minute how they fit together. This one I wanted to keep low because I have students who like to sit on the floor. I have cushions laying around so they can grab a cushion. I also purchased this wobbly stool, which was probably one of the first different kind of things we had, and it was very popular when I very first got it, and it's still popular. But it fits perfectly with this size table, so I just left it down. And then also, I purchased, these come in a set of 4, and I'll show you where I've got some of the others in a minute. But they're a great size for this table also, and they will just fit up and under it out of the way. Just yesterday, I purchased a rug because, like I said, I do have some kids that like to sit on the floor. So I thought I'd have a rug there too, so they wouldn't have to sit exactly on the floor. They could use cushion and a rug. This is one of the most popular items, this cafe table, and we purchased it with Niswonger grant money. It came with the table and the 2 stools, and it is, like I said, one of the most popular that they race in here to get to. I think they like the idea of sitting by the window, plus they're up high, probably higher than everybody in here, so they really love this one. I have chairs like this that I purchased at yard sales. I got this one at Carson Newman's yard sale, Carson Newman University, and you can find these where businesses are going out or hospitals, and they have sturdy built chairs, but it's big and it's cushy, and the children love this chair. They do not have to keep it at this table particularly. I tell them if they want to move it to a different area, then they just have to put a chair in the replacement of it wherever they're moving it to, so that there is a chair still at that area. You can notice that the puzzle piece, like I told you, we can put tables together, which allows me to have 6 people together rather than just the 3. That way, if they want to work in a group, or either they want to work in a small group, they have that option also, or I can pull them over to a small group and say, hey, I want to work with you 3 today. These are bicycle pedals, I guess you call them, and they actually go in under the desk while you are sitting there. This is what they come with. I think I purchased these off of Amazon. You put this little sheet in under it, and actually you can buy this stuff. It's what you would put a liner in your shelf. You put the bicycle pedal on top of it, and that's the reason you do that is so it won't move. And then it goes under your desk. So while the student is working, they can actually pedal while they're working. And a lot of my students like it because it keeps track of your steps or your the time that you've used on it, calories, all those kind of things. So that's another option, and I have 2 of those. I keep them at the front because those are first come, first serve. If you want to use them, You grab it, you put it on your desk, and sometimes I'll have 4 or 5 different people use them during a class time because they get tired, they put it back up there, somebody else will grab it and use it. So I have 2 of those. I have, now as you can see, I've got these kind of folding chairs that are options also. These are not very expensive. You can find them at yard sales too. And they just move them. Here's another style that came from a yard sale. And you can see that I have a bigger group together here. I have 3 of the tables put together here. These are the big item at the moment, the exercise ball chairs. These came from Walmart, and actually I like sitting in them myself. You can adjust the ball to like as big as you want it to be, and then the back has an adjustment. So if you can see on the back, you can lean back on it, you can make it higher or lower. I have students who will sit and bounce while they are working on their lesson. And for those kids that are fidgety, I think it really helps them. And they're concentrating on their work instead of fidgeting with something else. You can also sit on these a different way. So you can sit on them like this if you want to and lean over this way. I don't have too many students who do this, but that is an option. Now, these have rollers on them, but what I do is I put the brakes on the rollers. And that also can just be moved to whatever area. It's whoever grabs it first, and they can either sit here with it or they can move it around. I also have this library area, and I bought this coffee table for $5 at a yard sale, and I bought the rug at a yard sale. So they have options. As you can see, a student's actually sitting over here now. They're out of the room right now. But they can sit on the rug, and it's at the right height to actually do your work here, and a couple of students could work here. I have clipboards, which I'll show you in a minute, that are options also, but this table is good for that. These are the stack of that I bought at Walmart for $5. They come in a stack like this. And I have those also sitting up here. If anybody wants to raise their desk and they're in an individual desk, they can do that. Okay, we'll move on over to the other library area. And as you can see, I just have cushions thrown around, and they can pick them up and use them. I bought a beanbag. Now, here's what I want to say about bean bags. I've already had to stitch this bean bag up because it was breaking. It's nice, the kids like it, and it's vinyl. I would not recommend fabric, things you want to wipe off. But I do not see it lasting a long time because the stitching is already coming undone again. So that would be something that I might want to think about to purchase another one. It'd probably be better to purchase one of those chairs that you play the games in that have the high back on them, that rock kind of. To me, that would be better because you've not got the beanbag kind of things in there. Here is an example of the stools I was showing you there. These came in a set of 4, and they are easy to stack. So if you want them out of the way, they can just stack on top of each other. I have the cushions, so they can grab those. And I put this desk back here because I thought I wanted to leave it low. And I usually have four students back here in this area also. They're leaning back on the beanbag or sitting. We purchased this little footstool, which is really handy. I love the height of it. The only thing is I wonder how long my legs are going to last on it because of these boys. But as you can see, it's perfect for this desk. But you could also sit on the floor, so there's an option there. They can sit and work over here, or they can just come over and read. Another purchase that I made before we used our grant money, I bought this on my own through Amazon. And it is actually a stepper. And It is very sturdy, and I got a good deal on Amazon, which is where I would recommend. And you can stand while you're working and step. Now, what I told them is I prefer them to get behind the podium because I do not want them to fall. So if they get behind the podium, their work can be right here on the podium, and they can hold on to the sides while they're stepping. It is pretty popular because they like to see how many steps they've done, and they like to brag about what their workout was, you know, those kind of things. So as you can see, I have a lot of variations. Now, this is another thing that I don't know if you would consider this flexible seating or not, but I have come up with a hot chocolate bar. And on Fridays, if they have all their work done, they are allowed to get hot chocolate. So I have my cups, I have my little sign that says hot chocolate bar, I have my Germix, my straws, my hot chocolate. So this coming Friday, we'll see how many will get their hot chocolate. It is a little bit of extra duty, but I'm thinking that I can come up with a way to assign different students to do this, and then it will run smoother. And I'm